everyone. It's
Hola.
hola. Oh, hola. Bon, whatever. Bon
Buenas
dias,
tardes.
tardes, noches.
Bienvenidos.
Whenever you are watching this, it's Aging Grateful. I'm Bobby,
I'm Cedric.
and we are talking about a trip that we took to Guadalajara.
Yes.
Oh my God, Guadalajara. That's gonna go down in the books. I'm already in my head thinking we need to go back for a visit.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we will, and we will,
Yeah.
and we will. But this video is talking about our trip
Yeah.
to Guadalajara. And we're gonna start off by talking about how we went to Guadalajara.
We took a bus.
We took a bus, guys. We took a bus. I haven't actually ever taken a bus. Like,
Really?
You know, I've taken a bus for like
Like
you were a
Greyhound and
kid.
then?
No, absolutely not. But I've taken a bus, like, you know, going to a trip when you were in high school or
That's not
grammar
the same.
school. But no, this definitely is not that. This is definitely not. Oh, you know what? I took a bus when we took a trip to go sing when I was a teenager.
Okay.
But so
Was it like the bus we went on?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So with that being said, we actually went on a bus. It's called ETN.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah. And Mexico has a lot of luxury bus lines.
luxury bus line. Yes.
And these are, they're luxury bus. They're really nice.
Like double decker, big seats,
Yeah.
and big comfy seats too. And we have some people that are here, some friends of ours, and they talked about one in particular. She was like, now I'm like, if I go on an airplane, I'm like, where's my big seat? Like,
yeah, it almost makes you want to travel all over the place like that.
It does. So ETN was really a really great bus line.
So we went on their website and purchased tickets. There's several different ways you can do it. I heard a lot of people just going online to buy the ticket, and then when they get to the checkout, they do something where they go to OXXO and pay for it because sometimes it doesn't take a U.S. credit card and debit card. So I was like, I was going to chance it. So I put in my credit card information. It worked, and gave them the tickets right there on the spot. They had a little QRC code on the tickets, and they emailed me a copy, and that was it. It was that simple.
Absolutely, and so they were pretty affordable tickets. And it was us, and we had our daughters with us, two of our daughters with us. So it was a really great experience booking the tickets. The bus stations. Now, listen, guys, the bus station, I mean, very nice.
Yeah.
We were, we didn't wait long. We got there probably about maybe 30, 45 minutes before the bus actually arrived. To me, I was getting a little nervous because we hadn't eaten anything. So we got there and we were like scrambling to get,
Yeah, because we only had one stop, and it was just a stop for people to get on. It wasn't even a stop to do anything. So
yeah, so we just one of these little stands that were in little restaurants in the bus station. We did go order, and I was waiting like last minute.
Yeah, because in Mexico they make stuff and cook stuff to order. There's nothing sitting around waiting. So when you order something, it literally took her about 15 minutes probably to make our order. It was like some tacos.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But we were on a time crunch, and the bus was there, and so but the last minute, and then she handed me my food, and I was running to get on the bus.
And let me say this, the bus leaves on time.
On time.
Not 1 minute after, not 1 minute before. On that time.
They out.
That's it. They're backing up.
They're out. But the bus themselves, very
nice.
Spacious, very great seats. We actually booked on top of the double-decker bus.
Yeah.
We were on the top, which I highly recommend.
Yeah. Especially if you can get the front two seats, because you get the whole windshield view and everything. So it's really nice. It's
I
really
mean,
nice.
the views, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like taking buses, because they get to see the travel. They get
Right.
to see it, the beauty of the mountains and the agave plants, and seeing these nice little shops and markets and fruterias and stuff like that as we're driving. I mean, it's really worth it, taking the bus. So the amount of time it takes you to get from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara,
About 5 hours.
about 5 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours.
Yeah.
So, but it took us a little bit longer.
Yeah.
5 hours.
One thing I would recommend is look up where you're going to be staying at, opposed to the bus station, because there's 2 bus stations in Guadalajara. We didn't realize that. So there's one in Zapopan, and then there's one like the main one, downtown Central.
Guadalajara.
Right. So when we got there, we got to Zapopan, and the guy was like, hey, this is Zapopan, you getting off or whatever. And I was like, should we get off here? And I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to get off here or whatever. So I started looking up the Airbnb we were staying in. In the meantime, everybody got off and he starts backing in. Like I said, these buses are on time. They're on time. So he's backing up and we start driving. And as we're driving, I'm looking at the Airbnb, and it was literally about 100 pesos Uber ride from where we were. So what we were going to end up doing is passing the Airbnb, going all the way downtown, and then have to come all the way back to the Airbnb. So we spent probably an extra hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, about an extra hour and 15-minute bus ride in order for us to come back about 30 minutes.
Right, because Guadalajara is a humongous city. It's busy. Traffic was crazy.
It's the second largest city
in Mexico.
Yeah. So we could have saved ourselves a little bit of time by getting off at the Zapopan stop.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know, but we do know now, and we're letting you guys know.
Yeah.
So track it. If Zapopan is closer to your Airbnb or your hotel or wherever you're staying versus downtown.
Downtown, yeah.
So
when we got there, we got a taxi, because I don't think they let Ubers, especially downtown. They don't let Ubers into that.
You'll have to walk if you want to catch
to
it.
Uber. You have to walk quite a ways too, down on the downtown side. So, man, this taxi ride. So let me say this: Guadalajara is not like Puerto Vallarta. Guadalajara, nobody really speaks English like they do in Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta, because of it
the
being so touristy, you can get away here or get by here with not knowing Spanish. Like, you can get by.
Right.
Guadalajara, listen. The translator of Google.
Yeah. It's needed. It's needed, but the thing is, if you're relying on Google Translate, you're gonna have a frustrating experience. Period. And that's just across the board for Mexico or probably any other country, I'm sure, because a lot of that depends on your cell phone signal and all that, and it's just a headache. I've seen it. I've been on the internet.
Well, we got a
taxi. And we were trying to explain to him where we were going.
This is tip number 2.
And I was showing him the thing, and he was talking to one of his friends, and they were like, oh yeah, it's in Colonia Americana, yada, yada, yada. And then we're off, right?
He told us the price, because
we always ask the price.
You should always ask the price of where you're going, how much this is going to cost you before you get into a taxi.
Right.
So once we established what that was, we got in, and we thought we were good.
Yep. And we got in, and we're driving, and at that point, he's just kind of going. So I had it on Waze on my thing, and I noticed on my phone, and I noticed he kept like looking at my phone. I was like, wait a minute, So he's trying to follow these directions. So we're going, and then he's saying, well, basically it's telling me to take this way, but I know you can go this way. And I'm like, you're the taxi driver. I have no idea. So he's getting frustrated because Waze is going all these different ways. And he said this one street can cut basically across town, and Waze, Waze try to
take you out
take
these
you
other areas.
how Waze does. So we get to where we're going.
We weren't close.
We weren't even close. So we were going in circles, and it was getting frustrated. So finally I was like, look, just drop us off here.
Right here.
And it was where the destination was. And I was like, because when we got there, I said, this is definitely not
it.
This is definitely not the right place.
Listen, we were like, it was like tumbleweeds.
Yeah, we're like in the middle of this alley somewhere. And I was like, just drop us off here. And he was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, because I was getting frustrated. He was getting frustrated.
Unless you know something about this area that we shouldn't be in.
Right.
But no, we got out.
We got out, and
I ordered a
Uber. And we looked like tourists when we got out because we had our backpacks on, and we're like down this back street, and people are kind of looking like where are you guys going?
Yeah.
But what had happened, honestly, it wasn't his fault. What had happened was when I got the directions from the Airbnb host, he just basically kind of dropped a pin in Google Maps. So when I clicked on it, it kind of gives you the coordinates and not an address. So that's what it was. So when I went back into the Airbnb app and got the actual street number and the address, it was about 20 minutes from where we were. So we put that in the Uber, and the Uber came and took us right there with no problem.
So, for those of you looking and listening, make sure you have the address.
Yes, make sure you have the address.
Especially if you're taking
a taxi. Yes.
And also, if it is not a major destination or location, keep in mind that the taxi driver may not necessarily know where that is.
Right.
So
especially in a big city like that.
If it's a popular hotel, they probably know where it's at. But
right.
If you are in a zone and this is a new starter Airbnb and you don't know and they don't know, good luck. Make sure you just have the directions. But that's another tip.
Yeah.
Tip number 3. There you go. Boom. So on top of the no English, and not a popular destination, we made it.
We did
to our destination.
We made it.
And let me say, the zone that we were in, which is the
Colonial
Americana zone, was really, really nice.
Yes,
guys.
it was nice.
Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. Everything was very much walkable. We did a lot of walking.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really nice. Right?
Tons of restaurants. I mean, literally, it was probably 3 or 4 restaurants on every block. I mean, it was tons and tons and tons of restaurants.
Yeah, you would never have run out of restaurants.
And the little street vendors, everything.
Yes, and we were next to a mall.
Yeah, right next to a mall.
And movies, so my kids were happy. My girls were happy. Sushi, so my girls were happy. But we had a really great time. There was so much to do. One of the things that I want to say that I thought was really, really awesome was on Sundays. They closed what's considered the main street into like downtown, the main street. They close that down on Sundays, and they have, it's called like a recreation day or recreation time, and everybody comes out, like they're riding their bikes, they're walking, there's
jogging, skating, rollerblading.
I mean, everything. I mean, you can imagine they were getting their exercise on. And it was just so amazing to see all of these people in the streets. I think I was just like in awe. Like I was shocked that this is actually happening. And I'm like, we need to do that. I mean, it was beautiful. So we got out and we walked and got some exercise in, some recreation too with everybody else. So
Yeah, we
were
walked like
excited
3.5
about that.
miles. It didn't even feel like it.
I know, we were just walking and enjoying.
And sightseeing, people watching. And
I was enjoying, having conversation with some of the people there. I mean, it was just really awesome. So that was something that was spectacular.
Went to the market, the world's largest market.
Oh, yes.
Or not the world's largest market, Latin America's largest market.
It's supposedly Latin America's largest market. It's the Mercado San Juan de Dios. And I hope I said that right. But it was overwhelming.
Yeah, it was
Oh my God.
It was super overwhelming.
It's almost like you took a block and put stores in it.
A whole city. It's almost like you took a downtown of a city and just covered it up and just put stores everywhere.
And I don't even think we got through.
Oh, not even close.
10%.
Not even close. Not even close. The thing I started noticing that when we were getting ready to leave is they had things in sections. So they had like the perfume section over here, the shoe section over here, and the hat section over here. So you're not just bouncing from place to place with all these different things. You kind of go in these zones.
Yeah, zones inside
the market.
Now I will say in the food zone, shout out to Rico's.
Rico's Tacos.
Rico's Tacos. Oh my God, Rico! If somebody tag him in here, if you know him, because we appreciate the food that was going down in that place. You know what? Being in Puerto Vallarta and having tacos and burritos and all these different Mexican dishes. I mean, and we eat a lot of that, but man, I don't even know what he put in the taco. What kind of tacos was it?
It was a burrito, taco dorado. So they fry it.
Yeah, taco dorado, the golden taco.
Golden taco, yeah.
Holy smoke! I don't even know what they do to it. I don't know what they do to it, but it was like gold to me. It was a golden taco for sure. And then they had is it the meat in its own juices?
Yeah, carne de jugo.
Carne de jugo.
And de jugo. So basically meat in its own juices.
That was a whole nother level. But anyway, we give a shout out to
And then the
Rico.
tortas.
The tortas.
So we had the tortas there. That's what they're famous for, Guadalajara.
Yes. The
so that was good too.
Were great as well. Just overall, the food.
Yeah, the food was great.
The food was great. Great. Another thing that we thought was incredible was Tlaquepaque.
Oh yeah, Tlaquepaque. I think that was a highlight for me.
Oh, when they call it it's
a magical city.
Magical city is voted one of the
magical towns.
Yeah. It is extremely a magical town. I enjoyed it. We have fun. I mean, shops, food, the people dancing. I mean, people singing in the street like opera, singing. I was just like, holy smoke! This is my kind of town right here. This is my kind of town. I did love that, and it's a small town,
right?
But it packed a punch. I'm telling you guys, it packed a punch. So I mean, we've said a lot. There's so much. Yeah. There's so much about Guadalajara, so much, but what do you think was your favorite thing?
My favorite thing was probably, I would have to say Tlaquepaque. That was probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite thing.
I will agree with you, but my favorite is any time I get to spend with this one right here.
Oh, here we go. Thank you. That's so sweet.
So guys, you know what? If you are liking what we're talking about, want to see more, please hit the
like and subscribe.
And comment, please.
But before you do that, so what was your overall thoughts on Guadalajara? Would it be a place you would want to live or stay or?
Ooh, is he asking me, guys?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Is he asking me? I could see myself living in Guadalajara, but I could really see myself. I like the Americana zone.
Yeah, I think if I had to stay there, I would definitely want to probably be in that zone,
Though I like the Centro zone too, El Centro.
but not to live in El Centro because Centro is different.
It's crowded.
It's crowded.
Busy.
Yeah, then I wouldn't want to be down there at night.
The museums are beautiful. Yeah.
But I couldn't see myself living in Guadalajara. It's too big. It's a huge city. I'm done with huge cities. Now, let me say this: if it was, 10 years ago and our kids were growing up and we were trying to, then yeah. But no, it's too much hustle and bustle for me.
Tlaquepaque was too much hustle.
No, it's not. But you still in Guadalajara.
This is true. This is true.
So you got to deal with all the traffic and big city and noise and pollution and all that goes on with the city. Now the weather was perfect.
I will say this: it's a great place to visit.
It's definitely a great place to visit.
Great place.
It's a great place to live. It's just not for me at this point in my life. That's all.
It's a great place to visit.
Yep.
So yes, as we were stating, like, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've been to Guadalajara, looking to go to Guadalajara, man, what would you guys think about if we did a trip to Guadalajara? Like, plan something, like to travel to Guadalajara. What do you guys think about that?
Let us know.
Let us know. Let us know. All right, much love to you guys. Remember to age grateful, right? That's what we're doing. What we're trying to do. Much love.
Peace.
Yeah.